The specific stretching technique that I chose was static stretching. I feel like static stretching is the most common, most basic type of stretching. It's the first type of stretching you're taught, even like as a young child in sports and elementary school. There's a wide variety of sports that use static stretching for their warm-ups, their pre-warm-ups, and their cool-downs. I know I specifically, for my team, they do a dynamic warm-up. I refuse to let them stretch, as we say, cold muscles. They'll try to do it and get out of the dynamic warm-up, and I always like cut them off. I'm like, we do not stretch cold muscles. You need to warm up first. And even then, they do a quick one. It's not really, they only hold it for 10 seconds and then switch. And their cool down after practice, they will do a dynamic or static stretch. So when you are using static stretching, you will be increasing your range of motion and hopefully helping muscle stiffness. There is studies that have shown that static stretching helps avoid muscle stiffness, specifically in the hamstrings and plantar flexors. I personally have tight hamstrings, and I can tell you that when I did used to stretch, it helped a lot, which also helped my lower back pain. But that's a different topic. Studies have shown, like, while static stretching does have lots of benefits, they also talk about the negative downfalls of static stretching. So athletes that use static stretching have the possibility of decreasing their athletic performance. And two aspects that can be affected are the athlete's ability to jump and sprinting power. There also has been a study that has shown that muscle strength has also decreased along with power output. So since these abilities are being affected, they call this stretching-induced force deficit, where they're actually putting themselves at a disadvantage by doing something that is supposed to give them the advantage. And so studies have two different things on it. There's good and there's bad, but there's not a lot of studies that can give you like a hard fact answer. And so even the negative side effects of stretching, we just don't know. Even then, they've shown that there's a notable change in strength and power, but also it increases range of motion. So do you static stretch? Do you not static stretch? There is a study that I chose that has shown what happens when you static stretch for too long. So in this study, they concluded that holding a static stretch for less than 30 seconds was beneficial. And they researched that a lot of sports even hold a stretch for less than 20 seconds without finding out the risks of holding a static stretch for too long. But like I said, they do need more research to conclude how detrimental static stretching is to those different aspects of the athlete.